Welcome to the deep dive. You know, communication, it's like, um, it's absolutely everywhere in our lives, isn't it?
Totally. Everything we do.
From those, big work presentations to just the quiet, everyday chats that kind of shape our most important relationships. It's this invisible thing connecting it all.
Uh-huh.
And we're all doing it right, constantly.
Yeah.
But actually mastering it, that feels like a whole different level.
Yeah, that's where the real change happens, I think.
Exactly. Turning interactions from just like getting things done to something really transformative.
Mm.
So today we're going to take a deep dive into what actually makes someone a master communicator.
Okay.
And we're basing this exploration on some really fascinating insights from what we're calling master communicator concepts. It's stuff that really unpacks the details.
Sounds good.
Our mission here, really, is to give you a shortcut, to get you, properly well-informed on this. We're pulling out the most important bits of knowledge, some surprising facts, too, so you can see right away how to maybe use them yourself.
Yeah, and I think it's really important to frame this right from the start. What we're talking about today, it isn't some, innate talent, Some magic gift only a few people get.
Right, not about being born charismatic.
Exactly. The thinking here makes it super clear. Excellent communication is a skill. It's something you can learn, something you can develop, practice, just like any other complex thing you learn.
That's actually really encouraging, isn't it?
It is. It's incredibly empowering because it means, well, we can all intentionally get better at this.
Okay, let's unpack this then. Let's jump right into the first sort of foundational idea. It gets overlooked a lot, I think, but it's crucial. Safety and respect are the heart of conversation.
Mm-hmm. The bedrock.
Yeah, the idea is you cannot have real open communication if you haven't established psychological safety first.
And what's really fascinating is the psychology behind it. When people feel psychologically safe, their prefrontal cortex, that's the bit of the brain doing rational thought, empathy, all that, it actually gets more active.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. They move out of that defensive, fight or flight mode, and that creates the space where everyone feels genuinely okay to, say what they think, share experiences, be themselves without worrying about being judged or shot down.
Makes sense.
And respect, this is key. It doesn't mean you have to agree with everything someone says. Not at all.
Right.
It's about acknowledging that everyone has a right to their own thoughts, their own experiences, their perspectives, even when they're completely different from yours.
Even when it's really hard.
Especially then. Treating others with that fundamental respect, even when you profoundly disagree, that's what separates the really skilled communicators from people just trying to, win the argument.
It's amazing how much that initial trust just sets the whole tone, isn't it?
It really does.
And okay, so once you've maybe laid that foundation,
Yeah.
what's the next hurdle people often hit? I find it's when they just dive straight into the complicated stuff without, setting the scene. Which brings us perfectly to the second concept, which is super practical. Start by discussing the framework of conversation.
Exactly right. Master communicators, before they get into tricky or sensitive topics, they'll often, maybe subtly, maybe explicitly, just set the stage.
So what does that actually look like? Does it have to be really formal?
Not necessarily. It can be as simple as saying, hey, look, I want to talk about X, and my goal right now isn't to solve it, but just maybe share where I'm coming from and hear your thoughts.
Okay.
Or maybe in a work meeting, right, today we're aiming to brainstorm ideas, not make a final decision yet, so let's just focus on getting lots out there, not critiquing.
Right, managing expectations.
Precisely. It helps everyone understand the purpose, the scope, what approach we're taking. It manages those expectations and really builds a solid foundation for a constructive chat. Make sure everyone's kind of on the same page from the get-go.
Like setting the rules of engagement.
Exactly. Before the game even starts.
Okay, this next one. This really made me rethink how I approach disagreements sometimes. Concept number 3. The goal is to share, not to change minds.
Yeah, this is a big one.
We've all been there, right? Those conversations where it just feels like one person is desperately trying to convert the other one, it just turns into a fight.
Yeah, like a rhetorical boxing match, as you said. And it makes you wonder, doesn't it? How many arguments, personal, professional, whatever, could just be avoided if we really took this to heart?
A lot, probably.
Trying to change someone's mind often just creates resistance. It leads to these pointless debates. Instead, what master communicators do is focus on clearly sharing their perspective, their experience, their feelings, while also being genuinely open and curious to hear the other person's side. Real influence, actual change that happens more organically, through understanding, through empathy, not by force or winning an intellectual battle.
It's more like planting a seed.
Exactly. Planting a seed of an idea, not trying to yank a flower into blooming right now.
That takes a lot of humility, though, doesn't it? Especially if you feel really strongly about your own view.
Oh, absolutely. Which leads us nicely into concept number 4. Understand that we all can make mistakes. Nobody's perfect.
Right. Easy to say, harder to live.
It really is. But humility is just crucial here. Excellent communicators, they accept they don't know everything, they're not always right, and they can always learn something new from someone else.
And that's not weakness.
Not at all. It's the opposite. When we show we're imperfect, when we're willing to say, hey, maybe I'm wrong here, or my view isn't the whole picture, it actually makes us seem more relatable, more trustworthy. And importantly, it creates that safe space we talked about earlier. It makes it okay for other people to show their imperfections too. That fosters a much deeper, more genuine connection. It kind of disarms the whole conversation.
Okay, so here's where it often gets tricky, I think, especially in those difficult, maybe high-stakes conversations. Concept 5, accept the discomfort that may arise along the way.
Ah, yes, the discomfort.
Most of us just want to run from discomfort, right?
Ah.
Smooth things over and the chat. But master communicators seem to lean into it.
This is absolutely key. It's highlighted that those really valuable, transformative conversations, they almost always involve uncomfortable moments. So instead of dodging them or rushing past, skilled communicators see discomfort as a vital sign. It means you're hitting important territory, stuff that needs courage, authenticity, maybe rethinking some assumptions.
So don't avoid it.
Right. Our ability to just sit with that discomfort, to explore it together instead of pulling back, that opens doors to much deeper understanding, genuine connection. Things that would stay closed otherwise. It's like seeing discomfort as a signpost towards progress, not a dead end.
And the language we use during those uncomfortable bits is so critical. Which brings us to concept 6. Don't judge, don't use harsh words, don't use sarcasm.
Oh yeah, big one.
I know I'm definitely guilty sometimes of letting frustration, dictate my word choice. This really hits home about the power and responsibility of language.
The words we pick have huge power. They can build bridges or, just burn them right down. Master communicators are really careful, meticulous even, about using constructive, inviting words.
So instead of just blurting out, "You're wrong,"
Exactly. They might say something like, I'm seeing this differently. Could you help me understand your thinking on that? Or instead of that's impossible, maybe shift to, okay, I don't quite see how that approach works yet. What steps are you picturing?
Subtle but important shifts.
They're not just being polite for politeness' sake. These are intentional choices. They signal respect, openness, a desire to understand, not to just dismiss or diminish the other person. And the impact on how your message lands and how the other person responds, it's massive.
Yeah.
It can turn potential conflict into collaborative problem solving.
Okay, finally, the 7th concept. This is one I think we could all probably use a bit more of in our, hectic lives. Sometimes we may need to pause for a moment.
The power of the pause.
Yeah, there's often this pressure, isn't there, that everything has to be figured out right now in this one conversation.
Totally. But not every chat needs to end with a neat conclusion right then and there. Not every problem needs an instant fix. Master communicators have the wisdom to see when it's time to just take a break.
Step away.
Yeah, step away. Let everyone process what's been said, maybe do a bit more research or just get some perspective. This isn't giving up.
No.
It's actually a really strategic move. It shows huge respect for how complex the topic might be and for the, mental load on everyone involved. Often just a bit of distance, maybe sleeping on it, helps you see new angles or solutions that were totally invisible in the heat of the moment.
Allows for deeper thinking.
Exactly.
Yeah.
More thoughtful engagement.
So, okay, wrapping this all up, what does this really mean for you listening? I think the core takeaway is incredibly powerful. Communication isn't some fixed thing you're born with.
Definitely not.
It's a muscle. It absolutely can be cultivated, strengthened by intentionally trying these 7 concepts. From creating safety and setting clear frameworks, right through to accepting discomfort and knowing when to hit pause. We can get more than just smoother conversations. We can build deeper, more meaningful relationships, have genuinely effective collaboration, and maybe ultimately a more understanding world.
And if we zoom out a bit, there's this really empowering idea that kind of ties it all together. Being a master communicator starts with choosing to listen, choosing to understand, and choosing to connect with others with an open and sincere heart.
It's about choice, isn't it?
It really is. Making deliberate, intentional choices in how we interact every time.
That's powerful stuff. So as you go about your day, maybe think about a recent conversation you had that felt, I don't know, challenging. We're just kind of stuck.
Yeah.
Maybe a tough family discussion or a meeting at work that went sideways. Which one of these 7 concepts, if you'd applied it differently, do you think might have shifted things? Could it have opened up a new path forward?
It's worth reflecting on.
Yeah, just think about how even small intentional shifts in how you approach things can lead to really significant changes in the outcome.